For those of you who are tuning us in here for tonight, we welcome you here live for the iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Legends Series, getting set to go green for the finale race here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway, one of the most historic NASCAR tracks on this prestigious schedule. And here we go, getting set to go 150 laps of racing here for tonight. My name is Ezekiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the broadcast.
And there's a lot of anticipation coming in here for tonight. The first time we've been on this kind of racetrack, and of course, a very historic type of track here tonight. Some interesting characteristics of this racetrack as well. Dewey, go ahead and give us a rundown on how this race is going to turn out here for tonight.
Yeah, of course, North Wilkesboro, one of the more historic tracks, as you mentioned. On iRacing, of course, just added in the most recent build. Of course, this track is 0.625 miles long, same as Thompson. 14 degrees of banking in the turns, 3 on the straights, and this is probably the most unique part of the track. The back stretch goes uphill, and the front stretch goes downhill.
Yeah, that's right. As Liam Sheen pointing out a bit of a typo, apologies about that, but yeah, this track offers some very interesting straightaways. We'll get an onboard shot of how this track runs as we get an onboard of Miller, who's looking down. He goes himself into the corner and not really up against that white line, because usually that'd be on a normal flat surface. The bottom is where to run, but since the turn is at a weird angle, that bottom isn't where to be. So it's honestly a weird kind of track. I can't explain it really well because I haven't run on this racetrack a lot. And 3 and 4 has a bit of curbing as well with it, rather than 1 and 2, which is just grass. So some more to take off of this track as Miller will spin it around, sort of.
Yeah, and of course we just mentioned the, uphill backstretch and downhill front stretch. You may not be able to see it that easily from the naked eye, just from our camera shots here, but when you go on board, you can notice it's much easier to see where it goes downhill and uphill, and it's pretty interesting. And it does create an interesting, I don't know if it changes your strategy for how you drive the track, but it's still something that's pretty unique among the different tracks we go to. And of course, with practice winding itself down, it's a perfect time to look over the very tight point standings we've got going into tonight. Of course, only the top 2 can win the championship at this point. Hunter Johnson has won 2 of the 5 races so far, and Casey Drake, the winner of Daytona, comes into tonight just 4 points back So at this point in the season, with only 4 points separating them, with this point system, that's only one position on the racetrack. So expect those two to race really hard with each other all night, and honestly with other people all night, because even one position could make the difference of winning the title and coming up just short.
That's very true, and practice will round itself out. We'll transition into qualifying. Unfortunately, we do not have the national anthem set up because of a bit of ATVO issues. We're just going to transition to qualifying as, go ahead and say, God bless America. Apologies about the harsh transition, but meantime, qualifying underway as we see Charlie Byron on the racetrack.
Yeah, Charlie, the winner of this series race at Charlotte a couple weeks back, gambled on a two-tire stop late in the race that scored him the win. So we'll have to see where he puts himself out on the grid tonight. I believe it's going to be the only SPM car out on the grid tonight, of course. You know, Carson Poindexter just came back last night, not racing tonight. So Charlie will be carrying the team here tonight, and hopefully for them they get a good finish in that 7 car.
Charlie works himself across the start-finish line. Looks like that lap didn't count, so Charlie might have hit the wall just a bit. He gets really close right up off of turn number 2. Had himself into 3 and 4, hopefully. Oh, and yeah, that will not count towards his laps, but surprising name is going to scoot himself on the top of the board. How about John Cannizzaro to the top?
Wow. Yeah, we saw him show up to Talladega. Oh, it looks like Eric Heater's gone around on his qualifying lap, and he'll alt F4 it. But yeah, John Cannizzaro qualified 5th at Talladega. Of course, that was the race where $10 is on the line for the winner, so a lot more people showed up for that one. But he had a pretty strong qualifying run and was running up there before being caught up in a wreck. And speaking of people being caught up in a wrecks in that race, Nick Miller in the 9, also one of them. He is now up to 1st on the leaderboard.
Miller will cross the start-finish line, hopefully improve that lap time, but unfortunately it will not. So Miller, we're going to go ahead and slide himself back into position and stuff like that. But Zoltan Herzeg in that number 96, he too is sitting at the exit of pit road. He's yet to stuff on the racetrack and maybe log in a couple Sertajman. He works himself on the track and he's qualified in 9th place. So a total of, I think, 18 drivers are here for tonight. Interested to see on how this will all go for those 18 drivers. Excuse me, 17. Correction. 150 laps here for tonight.
Yeah, this is our smallest field of the season. Of course, I guess not a lot of people in iSCAR have purchased North Wilkesboro yet, which of course is a bit understandable considering, of course, official doesn't go here for anything. So, you know, why buy a track? You may only race once. So a smaller field may mean a little. It honestly may not mean any less contact because a lot of these guys may not be familiar with how this track drive's coming in. And of course, we talked to both of our championship contenders last week about how neither of them had the track and they both had to buy it this week and put a lot of practice down. And you see that's pretty evident here as Hunter Johnson only qualified 4th tonight and make that 5th with Heater going to the top. And you see Casey Drake qualifying in 11th. So Casey has got a lot of work to do as he won't even be starting in the top 10 here.
Yeah, that's right. Casey might have screwed up his qualifying lap big time, and he'll have to start. I don't even know. Oh, yeah, it looks like 11th place, but meantime, for the rest of the guys out in the field, we're looking A-okay as of right now. John Cannizzaro is sort of playing hide-and-seek with the camera right behind the wall. Yeah, not really much to talk about, but we'll go ahead and drive into race analytics. On the right-hand side, you see Scott Yost in the 85, this series sponsor.
There he is.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen him on the racetrack.
Yeah, definitely good to see Scott come back. Of course, had some stuff to take care of, but fortunately he is back in iSCAR, and good to see him show up tonight sporting the Joe Nemechek Cellular 1 throwback, or actually Bell South rather. That's always one of my favorite cars, even though I wasn't alive when it ran. Of all the cars that have ever run in NASCAR, that scheme is up there in terms of my personal all-time favorite. So cool to see somebody transfer that to this car and run it here tonight.
Yep. Did Joe Nemechek win in that car? I'm not sure.
I believe he did.
Yeah, that's right. And oh, Scott.
I think
Scott Sparkle
1997. I want to say.
Yeah, Talladega maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have to get a run up on that. It might have been in the Busch series. I'm not really
Yeah, that
sure.
car did run in the Busch series a couple times, I believe, as well. But that looks like it'll do it here for qualifying, as Noah Allison's taking an extremely slow lap time. Probably wants to start in the back, and he'll accomplish that here as he just beats out the clock here, and that'll do it here for qualifying. And we'll grid up and show you our starting lineup for the final race of the iSCAR Summer Series.
Starting row number 1, going to be Eric Heater in that 09. Right alongside of him, Zoltan Herzeg, who has yet to pick up a Summer Series win. Watch out for that 96.
Yeah, that 96 should be strong tonight. Row number 2, the 9 of Nick Miller, and it was outside the 74 of John Cannizzaro, who just got up to A-Class today, so congratulations to him on that.
Hunter Johnson, your points leader. He's going to have to fend off the 87 of Casey Drake, who's starting all the way back there. Joe Berge alongside of him.
Another good qualifying run for Joe. Row number 4 gives us the 70 of Harry Grindle, and Michael Bianchini in the 48 comes in tonight 5th in points.
And rounding out the 5th row is going to be Jake Corway in the 99 Sertage Bond. Right alongside of him. The rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen, and some notable drivers we have to take note of. The 87 of Casey Drake. He's 3 points behind Hunter Johnson in that number 12. He's going to have to work himself forward and lead some laps to maybe have a shot at the title.
Watch out for that 99 of Jake Corway. You just mentioned him starting in 9th. He's got back-to-back top 5 finishes here in the Legends Series. Scored 5th at Talladega and 4th last week at Darlington. So in these Legends cars, that 99's on a bit of a roll. So if we have a bit more of attrition tonight and, you know, maybe some strategy plays in the hand at some point, watch out for him to maybe score another great finish.
Up, here we go, and oh man, a lot. I'm nervous just a bit because I've never seen this kind of track car combination. Hence, I've never seen a race on here. The only real race I've really seen on here is when the eNASCAR Coca-Cola Series hit the track, in which ended up in a wild last lap wreck involving
Poor Clampett.
Yeah, poor Clampett and Blake Reynolds as well, which resulted in Graham A. Bullen taking the checkered flag in that series. But here with a total different league of drivers, interested to see on who's going to shuffle themselves to the top, especially with these kind of cars. And this is the first time we're on a short track as well with these cars, so it's going to be a learning curve for all these drivers.
I thought I went to Bristol.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, but...
Well, the second one. But
yeah, you're correct.
This race may almost serve as a little experiment. Of course, for all we know, if this goes well, it may show up on one of the Winter Series schedules. You never know, so stay tuned for when those will drop. And of course, we'll have a bit of a gap between the end of this and the start of that series, but we'll have iSCAR 2, which will be a series that other people in the series will host, so watch out for more information on that. I don't know if they'll be broadcasted here or KMN, but no matter where they are, be sure to check it out.
That's right. One lap to go. Anticipation is building for this championship battle. The 87 versus the 12. Hunter Johnson and Casey Drake in the fight for this win of Eric Heater and Zoltan Herzeg. Going to lead it to the green. Pace car going to scoot itself left here at the 87 version of this racetrack. And we will set ourselves sights on the green cloth in the flag stand. Pace car will scoot itself onto pit road. Green flag will wave. And we're up and away here at North Wilkesboro.
Looks like there's single file here into turn 1. Herzeg will file in behind Eric Heater. Miller and Cannizzaro still side by side. That's for the 3rd spot. Looks like they'll file in line here now, and Eric Heater will lead the first lap of the Summer Series finale here at North Wilkesboro.
It's been a while since we've seen Heater out on the racetrack as well, as he slides a bit up in the center of the corner. You take an interesting line into turns number 1. The way you enter turn number 1 is very awkward because that downhill portion, you mentioned it, we both mentioned it during the broadcast on how various how differencing, I guess you could say, I'm not really sure if that's a word, but how different the front
difference
straightaway.
between them?
Yeah, the difference between the front and the back straightaway is we might have had a wreck. I'm not really sure. Yes, we have. It's the
Oh,
9
Nick
Miller.
Miller from third.
Wow, from
Looks like
third
Dylan
place.
Alton. It looks like Dylan Alton, David Bachman also
Did
did not
start.
take the green flag. So we'll have to, if the replay doesn't go too far away, we can get a look and see what happened to Nick. But he was running in third, and it looks like Bianchini now on pit road as well. He's got some pretty heavy right side damage to that 48 machine, so it looks like he slapped the wall somewhere on the track. But it looks like we're down to just 15 cars on the lead lap, and Heater still finds himself out front here.
Up and Zoltan slowly closing the gap between himself and Heater, but how about the 12 of Hunter Johnson, and look at that right behind him, the 87 at Casey Drake. So these two are going to meet up on track, and now it's just a matter of how the 87 at Casey Drake's going to work around that number 12, but he's splitting the gap, and Casey's also under pressure from the 70 of Grindle as well. So a bit of time for Casey to work himself forward into the 12's championship picture, but both of those people running 6th and 7th right now. Oh, Casey goes around!
Oh no, there goes Casey around!
Oh,
and he gets
wow.
hit. And that's going to be the first caution of the... Are we still green?
All right,
There we
man,
go, there's
caution is
caution.
out. Caution is out.
Oh, that's Miller!
Oh!
Ah! Oh, that was scary!
That was close. Yeah, Casey had actually gains the most position, I think, on anybody on the track. He got him from 7th to, or 11th to 7th, and Hunter actually lost a spot on the start. So Casey was actually making some pretty good progress here before that spin, so we'll get to look and see. Looks like he may have just lost it on his own here in the middle of turn 1.
It's very weird. Looks like, yeah, the rear end was already breaking loose on entry of the corner. You see the
Stepped down on
70. Ah, nowhere to go.
Yeah, and the other car spun through the grass. I think that may have been Jake Corway. We'll have to double check that. His number was pretty hard to see.
Yep, you're correct. It was Jake Corway.
That's a tough break for Casey. Hopefully that didn't give him too much by way of damage. Of course, he does have damage, but hopefully there's no engine damage. Because if there's any engine damage from that, then his championship hopes are just about over.
Yeah, that's right, but we still have a lot of laps to log in here for tonight. Pit road's going to open this time by. Not sure if anybody's going to take it onto pit road. Looks like we see a couple, Nick Miller, Jake Corway, and Casey Drake. They need to get themselves out on the racetrack before they get lapped. Well, that's going to be bad news for them.
Zoltan Herzog actually got by Eric Heater before that caution came out as well. He missed it, so first lead change of the night puts the 96 up to the front.
Corway came out between the pace car and where Zoltan did, so I'm pretty sure Corway is going to have to get a waiver in with 1 lap to go, but... Oh, man, Casey, that sucks being the first caution here of the night, working lap 10 out of 150. Man, it is...
There's still a long way to go, though.
That's right.
You just mentioned 150. You know, we're a 15th the way into tonight, of course. So this was originally going to be 160, but we trimmed it down a little bit to 150. But as long as it doesn't have too much damage, still a lot of the race left to go. And looks like Corway coming down pit road again for a little bit more repair. Unfortunately, already lapped down, so hopefully he doesn't lose a second one here. Looks like Casey and Nick also back down once again. I think Noah Allison pulled off track as well. He's showing 6 laps down now.
Yep.
So perhaps a starting park for that 24. And I don't know what's going on with Bianchini, but he's also 4 down.
Yeah, Bianchini, I think he pit started. He might have gotten involved in a wreck. You see a lot of damage on that machine, too. So the 48 having a bit of issues, unfortunately. As that was set
All right,
up,
man.
and
Lights are back
looks
on the
like,
pace car. We're not
we were
going
about to
green
take the
this
1
time.
to
We are
go,
not
but
going green.
Bianchini stopped at the entrance of pit road, and that will trigger another lap of caution. As Bianchini was aiming to go onto pit road, I think he was letting the 9 and Miller by. He was trying to let the 9 and Miller by before he entered pit road, because if Bianchini entered pit road before Miller, in front of Miller, he would have gotten a black flag. So smart move, but unfortunately, it costed another lap of caution. He's about to get lapped too, so...
Actually, I think Casey might have just as well. I think Casey came back down pit road again also. There he is. And it looks like he...
No, looks like no.
We'll see. Oh, he might have.
I
He
was about
cut
to.
that.
Yeah.
He cut that as close as you possibly could have. So it looks like Casey will barely keep his lap, but we'll have to see how much that damage affects him in terms of how his car performs now that we're about to go back under green.
He needs to catch up to the field as well. As we span 15 cars wide, the pace car will scoot itself left, and the green flag will fly back at North Wilkesboro. And we're up and away yet again on 14 out of 150, and they head themselves into one.
Yeah, one last reminder about how the restarts here in the Legend Series work. Of course, again, green-white checkered's not a thing in 1987, so all the restarts tonight will be the lead lap cars single file on the outside, and any lapped vehicles, if there are any, will line up on the inside. So that's also one of the more unique things we've seen across this entire season as Grindle goes wide there through turn 1, where the restarts have been much different and almost cooler in a way now that we're starting single file versus double file.
Yeah, that's right, and since it's a short track, this gives even more disadvantages to the people toward the back, and see Miller maybe tag the wall right there, right up off of 4, but in the meantime, everybody trying to hit their marks and get themselves situated as they work here on lap number 16 out of 150. Colton Hertzog holds a sustainable gap over the 09 of Eric Heater. We have a battle for 4th also heating up between the 83 of Joe Berge and the 49 of Sertaj Mon as well.
Yeah, John Cannizzaro qualified in 3rd tonight, still finds himself there in that podium spot. That 74 has put some pretty good laps down here so far. So good to see him have another good race after his good start at Talladega. So hopefully this time he can keep that going the entire race and finish up where he started.
Heater's putting a bit of pressure, trying to get back to the top spot around the 96 of Zoltan Hertzog. So it ain't over for the 96 as Heater working himself a bit lower off the turn number 4. Closes the gap just a bit. It seems as though turns 1 and 2 seems to be the trouble spot. A lot of people are sort of fanning out right up against the middle group rather than being against that white line. Again, you carry more speed into that corner because of the downhill portion of the straightaway.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that, of course, maybe some people aren't accounting for that when they break into turn 1 because, of course, you just said, of course, when you're going downhill, gravity plays a bigger effect into how those cars handle. So you have to enter with a little bit less speed or brake earlier so you can account for the increase of speed. And we have a battle here for 5th place. That is Hunter Johnson by Joe Berge. Actually, that's for 4th. Hunter just got by both of those cars. So Hunter making some moves here just recently off the restart as Sertaj clips the grass there out of turn 2, but no harm, no foul for that 49.
Does get a 1X, unfortunately, but Sertaj, I find it interesting. A lot of people are clipping that grass off of 2. Berge sideways. Man, talk about sideways and loose. That 83 doing a nice job.
Yeah, Berge, we mentioned him a lot in the last couple weeks. Been one of the top drivers in iSCAR recently. Picked up a lot of good finishes and had quite a few good runs, some of which unfortunately ended with some wrecks, but that 83 has been bad fast, and I'd watch out for him in the Winter Series coming this fall.
Schmidt trying the high side. Unfortunately for him, Nick Miller finds himself a round. You see Beyer into the wall right in the background. Looks like got a bit high and tagged the wall on entry. He's going to lose up a lot of time as another caution. And we're looking around to see who it involves, and it's Berge.
Yeah, we just talked about him. Joe Berge's got to be the most common victim of the commentator jinx in iSCAR history, as it strikes once again here for that Pure X83 car, and looks like out of turn 4, we'll see. Oh, went right around.
Yeah, too loose.
Kept it off the wall though, which is good. So he doesn't have any.
Oh, rip.
He had it. Oh, it was a blank. Okay.
I mean, he did hit the wall.
He did a good job of avoiding the wall until he just accelerated right into it. But looks like all the leaders are going to hit pit road except for Zoltan Hertzog. So everyone from Heater on back will make their first pit stop of the night. So we'll have to see if there's any 2-tire calls versus 4 tires or how this will all play out. Perhaps some track position coming into play easily. But I see Casey Drake back there on pit road. I'm a bit surprised he didn't stay out and try to lead a lap.
I'm
Even though
surprised as
Volpon
well, but
stayed out.
Zoltan stayed out, so yeah, I don't think it would have worked out for him, as the first person off of pit road looks to be Sertaj Mon, who took on 2 tires as well as Miller. So really, really early strategy here on these opening laps. The first time these drivers hitting pit road, and it seems as though a lot of people are, I guess, saying the car is tight, hence why they're taking 2 this early. So interested to see on how this will all turn out, because it is really hard to pass people at this track, as unfortunate for Miller, he actually finds himself back on the pit road. So
yeah, I'm not surprised to see strategy calls this early on, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we see them, if we have a caution maybe around 30 or 40 laps to go. I would definitely think that guys would probably take 2 tires then. So as the race goes on, you might see more and more of this strategy being employed.
oh, no doubt about it. And strategy has to play into favor for those championship drivers. You have to see, you have to keep yourself out to maybe lead a lap and get some extra headway, maybe have a shot at it. So if Casey finishes behind Hunter, but Casey's led laps, who knows? That championship could still be in Casey's favor. So we'll have to see on how it'll work out, because you get 5 bonus points for leading laps.
Yeah, and of course that's compared to just 1 bonus point for the other iSCAR series. Of course, with the old point system, we account for bonuses as well. You get 5 for leading a lap, and you also get an additional 5 for leading the most laps. So up to 10 bonus points. And I'm not sure how many bonus points in this series are up for grabs if you finish a race with 0x. Of course, the other series, that's also 1 bonus point. But I don't know if that's 5, or you could fill me in on that. But
I'm not sure either. It might still just be 1, but who knows? 1 can make the difference.
I don't know if anyone's done it before, but at least 10 bonus points up for grabs. But we shall see how it turns out. Looks like we'll have our second restart of the night here. Zoltan Hertzeg, Joe Burgee, who caused the caution, stayed out. Sertaj Mon, Eric Heater, and somebody else in 5th.
Green flag will fly, and it's John Canizaro, the 5th place car. We're back up and away as Burgee's trying to fend off Sertaj Mon, and into turns number 1 they go. Burgee doing a nice job of fending off the 49. You see a bit of scrambling right there for that 4th spot. 3 wide.
3 wide. Hunter makes a big move into turn 3. Can't quite make it stick on the bottom, but still might make the pass anyway here. That's on the 74 of Canizaro. Side by side for 2nd place now. Sertaj on the bottom.
Oh!
He's gonna save it.
Oh, he gets jammed up. The 12 of Hunter got jammed up, but he moved up to the high side just in time. Charlie sends it. They're 4 wide.
Oh my goodness. 4 wide at North Wilkesboro. I don't know how they just made that work. Casey Drake, of course, in the middle of all that. Oh, and almost contact between him and Garrett Hess. I think Casey's just going all out at this point. He knows he needs the points. Coming into tonight 4 down, he's doing pretty much everything he can to try and get up there, but he can't be too aggressive or he may end up spinning himself out. And speaking of battles here, we have one for the lead. That's Heater going.
He got sideways.
They're getting really loose on the bottom, and there's a whole gaggle of cars back from like 6th or 7th on back. All
one of them hit the wall. That's Grindle.
Looks like he's out of the way and almost contact there. Actually, there was contact. That's Miller and Hess out of 4. So all these guys just scrambling for position here. Burgee's loose again.
He got hit.
Going everywhere. The 3 wide out of 2. Look at Sertaj on the outside.
Wow, what a move. Oh Casey got hit.
It.
Oh, they are all over each other. All these drivers just trying to get as much as they can, and they're not laying off each other as they enter turn number 1. Now sort of trying to organize and sort themselves out. Miller shoves it to the inside. It looks like the pink car of Garrett Hess. We all stay clean for somehow, but all this battling in turn just made the top 5 pull away. And how about
Look
that?
At John Canizaro up to 2nd place.
Yeah, I was about to say, John Canizaro out of nowhere, the 74 into 2nd place, as Heater took over the lead over Zoltan Hertzeg. So Zoltan, a bad strategy call to stay out, and it's costing him some track position.
Man, now imagine this field, but a full 43 car field.
Oh my gosh, it would be even more hectic.
That'd be absolutely insane. We probably have a caution like every other lap, but...
Oh! Heater was dead sideways. It might open up the door for the 74 Canizaro to maybe take way on that throne, but he has a mirror full of 12.
Yeah, Hunter's up to third from fifth, so that 12 car trying to get up to the lead as fast as he can and pick up those valuable 5 bonus points, which if he does, it push that championship gap from 4 up to 9. And Casey's gone to 7th now twice. He started 11th, and went up to 7th, and then spun. Now he went back to 13th because of the caution, now up to 7th once again. So that 87 definitely has the speed. You just got to make sure he doesn't end up spinning again.
Joe Berge, his strategy is staying out. Also doesn't play to his favor, but we have 3 cars under a blanket here for the top spot. It's Eric Heater trying to fend off the 74 and the 12 as Hunter's going to shove it to the low side. John's going to say no, and cut him off in turn number 3. And they're all staying 1, 2, 3, fairly even between these top 3.
Yeah, and speaking of Burge, I'm a bit surprised that he stayed out. Because, of course, we just saw Zoltan's call of staying out not work. And, of course, Joe's tires are more worn than Zoltan's are because he had just spun out. So I'm not really sure why he stayed out, but he's back in 12th now with worse tires than everyone else in the field. So that 83 at this point needs a caution badly, because if he doesn't get one, he may have to pit under green, and that'll definitely cost him 2 or 3 laps.
Yep, that's right, and we're getting deeper into the run, so everybody trying to find their pace here as Eric Heater is leading laps, and I anticipated him leading his highest place, obviously first, but he's getting a bit loose into turn number 1, which is costing him a bit of time, but he's still getting a good, nice run off. And he started himself on the top as well, so first time we've really seen Heater be competitive this whole entire season. As you see the 12 of Hunter Johnson just about put the bumper to the 74. Cannizzaro side by side maybe for this position. Hunter wants to try the outside and be a bit ambiguous.
I think Hunter probably feels or may feel that John might be holding him up a bit, so it would not surprise me if that 74 gets the bumper here in these next few laps. So that's something to keep an eye out for. But Hunter has to be careful, because if he bumps him too hard and just flat out spins him, that could lead to an EOL penalty.
That's right, and work themselves still fairly even, but it seems as though Hunter likes shoving the car into the corner rather than Cannizzaro, who likes rolling it up onto the center. And Cannizzaro could get some good runs. Hunter's dead sideways. What a save!
What a save!
Yeah, Hunter is shoving the car a bit too much. He might be wearing that right front a bit more, and it's allowing Cannizzaro to pull here, but Hunter's not letting up yet. He gets even more sideways into 3 that time.
Here too. Yeah, they've been sideways almost every single lap. The way that they're just chucking them into the corners and hoping it sticks. And speaking of chucking it into corners, 79 of William Schmidt's done that pretty successfully. He's up to 4th place tonight, and Zoltan's now under attack again. That's for Nick Miller for the 5th spot. So that 96, like Joe Berge, needs a caution big time, or he's just going to keep going in the wrong direction. Nice crop there, though.
Yeah, Zoltan's not letting up, but I think the preferred line into turns 1 and 2 seems to be that outer edge, and I expect the 9 of Miller to take it. Oh my goodness, it sort of cuts off the 96 of Hertzeg, but still clear either way. No caution thrown there, but that 9 of Miller took advantage of Zoltan, of course, on older tires, but it seems as though that line is right in the dead center of the corner. So it's very, very awkward. It seems as though you're diamonding it off the corner, as I do not know who hit the wall there. That was a loud bang.
Yeah, and looks like the next car up for Zoltan is that 87 of Casey Drake, as Garrett Hess with a moment there out of turn 4. Another great save of one of the many we've already seen. And we're almost already a third of the way through this race. Now that we've had this longer green flag run, these laps are really starting to get put down. So, I wouldn't say time's running out for Casey, but he's definitely got to be mindful of how many laps there are and when the fuel strategy and tires may start to come into effect. So Casey's probably got a lot on his mind right now, but the biggest thing on his mind is probably getting in front of that 12 car, but currently 3 cars in between those 2.
Yeah, Hunter's dead sideways. He's trying to shove to the low side of the 74. Cannizzaro cannot do it. And Hunter, because of that, he got out of line in the 1, and look how much time he lost to the 74. So Cannizzaro will fend off 2nd place for right now, as Heater is coming up on a bit of lap traffic. That's the 70 of Harry Grindle, the one who wrecked it earlier down the back straightaway. But you also see Berge in there as well, who has really fallen off with his older tires. But in the meantime, this top 3 are or in their own country, because William Schmidt is 3 seconds, nearly 4 seconds behind that number 12, Hunter Johnson. So this top 3 knows what they're doing.
Yeah, those top 3 have been 3 of the most consistent cars of the race so far. You see Nick Miller's trying to catch up to Schmidt. This could be a battle for 4th here shortly. You see how much Zoltan's fallen off of these two, over a second back of these 2 cars now. And you see Casey trying to catch him about half a second back. And Bayer goes really high through the turn. He may have hit the wall again.
Bayer keeps clipping the wall into turn number 3. He's misjudging it too much. He wants to get a good arc into 3, but unfortunately, it's costing him a bit of time. And you got to be aware of that opening right about here. You don't want to hit that, because if you hit that, you're dead. We've seen it before in the eNASCAR broadcast.
I was just want to bring that up.
Yeah.
Somebody nailed that, and it took quite a few people out of the race. But something else you got to keep in mind as well, hitting that wall does come at a bigger price than just damage to your car. Of course, you do get incident points for hitting the wall. So if you smack that wall too many times, you may end up racking up enough incident points. You may have to serve a 17X penalty. So something else to keep in mind for these guys as this race goes onward.
Fairly deep into this green flag run. Now less than 100 laps to go this time by for Eric Heater in the 09. He's trying to catch maybe the 70 of Grindle, who's close to being lapped, as well as Berge. Again, older tires on that machine. But it's been fairly close between this top 3, but William Schmidt is sort of falling off, but he's under pressure from the 9 of Miller. And William doing a nice job as Nick's going to shove it to the low side, and since it's turn number 3, I'm pretty sure this pass will be completed. Looks like no, they're going to be side by side into turn number 1. Schmidt going to use the higher line to his advantage. Look at that. It almost seems as it's multi-groove racing in turns 1 and 2, but Schmidt's in the wall.
Oh, so there was a car in the grass, actually. Bergie's there as well. Somebody was in the grass.
That was Harry.
It's Harry.
He does go one down.
Him and Bergie may have made contact, because Bergie got lapped fairly quickly. He was in front of the leaders and then all of a sudden found himself there. Looks like he may have gone around on his own.
Oh, yep. Looks like he did. And right in front of the 70 of Grindle.
Now, he almost had it saved then, and unfortunately went around again. But then right after this, I think Harry got the wall right there.
Yeah, that was the pass for a lead.
Yeah, in front of the leaders. Hunter took the lead out of all of that. So there's your 5 bonus points for Hunter Johnson. So out of all of that, with those 2 lapped cars spinning in front of the leaders, that gave Hunter 5 valuable bonus points he needs to help keep himself in front of Casey Drake for this championship. And Cannizzaro got by Heater as well, so that 09 lost 2 spots out of that whole ordeal.
Oh, that sucks. The lap car is just playing a factor into this, and Joe Berge now 1 down, as well as Grindle. Both of those people are going to be fighting for a lucky dog, but...
I'm a bit shocked that wasn't a caution, since it happened right in front of the leaders.
Oh, bump and run! Oh, wow. Bump and run!
First one we've seen tonight, that's for 2nd place. But Cannizzaro powers ahead on the high side. That bump and run only works so well because the high groove is the preferred line. So if you try and bump and run, you may just be bumping them right into the groove they want to be in.
Yeah, but right back into position. Oh, Cannizzaro, give him a shot!
Oh, what a save! What a save by Eric Heater! And Cannizzaro retakes 2nd place.
Oh, this is not over.
Track racing for you.
Oh, Heater's mad.
Still side by side for 2nd out of 2. Contact.
Oh, they're mad at each other. They know.
I love it.
Yeah, Heater's trying to shove him back again. In turn, this is allowing Hunter to pull away, but Heater's finding himself back to the low side. He's sideways. Oh!
Cannizzaro in the wall. Will he give him back?
Oh, he's there! They chase each other up the track, and look how much time they lost to Hunter, who's now gone.
Yeah, they've lost 2 seconds to Hunter Johnson doing this. So Hunter Johnson's absolutely loving this. The more these 2 beat and bang at each other, the farther he's going to pull away, and that's bad news for Casey Drake.
That's right, but oh man,
that was awesome.
That was a lot of exchange between those 2 drivers, like Heater and Cannizzaro, but my goodness, it's been a while. Oh, Heater sideways. This might give an opportunity to John, but never mind of that. Heater will scoot himself right back up the corner, but that was a lot of contact between those 2 drivers. It's been a while since I've seen something that that overly aggressive without any wrecks and such like that. That was really interesting to see that play out.
That was such a great save that Heater had when Cannizzaro got into him again, too. I didn't think Heater was going to save that. I thought he was going to go right around right in front of him, but I think of all the saves you've seen tonight, that one from Heater might be the most impressive of them all. And Casey Drake has finally gotten around Zoltan Herzog, that for 6th place.
Bergie gonna wash up the racetrack, and
Oh! Cut him off almost.
yeah, I think Casey got a bit tight right up off the corner. He's using the lower side now in 1 and 2, so I don't know if Casey's trying to maybe try some different lines, maybe to help his car turn in the center of the corner. Because there's multiple lines on 1 and 2 rather than 3 and 4, in which it just seems to be the bottom side, so.
Almost halfway through the race now, of course, halfway will be the completion of lap 75, coming to the completion of lap 69. So Hunter's led a good 5 or 6 laps now. Of course, Heater led such a big amount in the early portion of this race. Heater currently would have the bonus points for the most laps, but if Hunter can stretch this out and this becomes a really long green flag run, with how far back Heater and Cannizzaro are now, this may open up an opportunity for Hunter to get an additional 5 bonus points if he can stay out there long enough to get the most laps led.
Yeah, we'll pull up the laps led on the right side. Looks like that title is being held by Eric Heater in the 09, who's dropped all the way back to 2nd place. I was about to say, I was trying to find him on the leaderboard, but there he is in 2nd.
Wait a second.
All right, man.
Caution is out, and this will change some things, and looks like, oh, it's Bergie.
And Bergie will not get the free pass because he was the cause of the incident. So either Harry will get it or nobody will get it. We'll have to see, but...
Pretty sure Harry will get it, but we'll see what happened to Joe. He has to get himself going, or else gonna be some problems. I get trapped 2 down. So for Bergie,
he might anyway. You have to remember that. You have to remember that Bergie's been on the same tires all race, and he already spun on them once. So those tires probably just couldn't take it anymore, and around he went.
This will open up pit road this time by.
Looks like everyone's. Casey stayed out.
Casey stays out to lead the to get some points. So
I knew that was going to happen at some point.
That's right.
So Hunter's gotten 5 bonus points, and now Casey counters with 5 of his own. So those 5 bonus points for Hunter are a wash. But if he can stay out there long enough, he may get the most laps led. But we saw 2 tires called earlier in the race. We'll see if they're called again here, as Cannizzaro actually beats Heater off of pit road.
I think you can't take 2 tires. That run was just so lengthy, and you see some other people just heading himself out of on a pit road. Joe Bergie, the lap cars, and all these people just taking the second wave around just to head himself to the back. But because Casey stayed himself out, he's gonna have to start himself all the way in the back. So even though you led the lap, you're gonna lose some valuable position. I think he was running up in 6th at the time of the caution. So for Casey Drake, you have to regain some ground again. Hopefully work yourself through the field.
I mean, at this point of the race, Hunter's obviously been, he's led a lot of laps now. I think at this point, that was a gamble worth taking because there's only so much you can do with Hunter leading the race. So all you can do personally is just get as close to 2nd place as possible, and then maybe try to knock Hunter out of the way at some point. Because as long as Hunter's leading this race, it doesn't matter where you are in the field, that those 5 bonus points could definitely help as this race comes down, because you never know what could happen in iSCAR.
Yeah, that's right. So now it's gonna be battle on position, but Hunter Johnson obviously the best of that at number 12. Casey Drake though, gonna have to start himself from 11th, but we'll see what happens on this restart. Cannizzaro and Heater are gonna meet up yet again, and the 83 Joe Bergie is gonna be on the inside, hoping to get his lap back.
You were right about Harry. He did get the free pass. So put that 70 back on the lead lap. Looks like we'll have 13 cars on the lead lap for this restart, the 3rd of the race. Hunter Johnson, John Cannizzaro, Eric Heater, Nick Miller, William Schmidt, your top 5. and the pace car will go down pit road. We're back underway here at North Wilkesboro with half the race left to go.
Bergie is trying to get back in line, maybe slot himself into what is supposed to be second, but maybe he wants to get some lead lap position. So,
whoa!
Yeah,
Nice move by Heater there to get around him. I think Bergie's going to be eaten up pretty quickly here. Of course, he does have damage even though he just pit for tires, so perhaps we'll see some impatient drivers if he doesn't get out of the way soon enough, as it looks like Miller trying to make a move to the low side on him, but gets the door shut on him, but I don't imagine Miller will stay behind him too long.
Herczeg, the only person right up against the curbing, and he'll get a spot on Schmidt, but Schmidt's into the wall, and Bergie trying to cut off the 9, around it goes!
That's what I knew was going to happen. They both go around, Zoltan gets contact, Sartaj through the grass, caution comes back out again. I think Casey Drake came out unscathed there. But I don't imagine
Bergie's mad at the 9.
I knew that was what
Bergie was doing. Honestly.
I knew if Bergie was going to stay up there, Nick was going to give him the bumper, and that's exactly what we saw here into turn 1.
I mean, he definitely had his nose down there. Bergie's just
they
racing
both went around. Actually, Nick
a lot
saved
of.
That was a nice save by both of them.
There's a lot of racing mentalities here that just collide. There's, of course, the on-track incident, but racing mentalities just colliding here. The 83 of Bergie is just racing for what is to be the lucky dog position. You won't get it because he's involved in the wreck. But the 9 of Miller, of course, he's on the lead lap. He's trying to get as much position as he can. 83 of Bergie just fighting for what he can to get his lucky dog. And they just both collide. I mean, both just fighting for the same spot, even though they're not really technically for the same spot. And Miller's expecting Bergie to let him by. But Bergie holding his ground. In turn, they both make contact because of it.
That was a nice save by both of them, though. That could have easily been a lot worse than it was. There's Jake Corway down on pit road for, looks like 4 tires and fuel. So he'll make his way back up on the track. So yeah, with Bergie being involved, he will not get the free pass, so he'll still be trapped 1 lap down. But the good thing for him is that Michael Bianchini 54 laps down, Noah Allison down 77, both of them I believe out of the race. So at any point, if another caution does come out, no one else drops out of the race like Noah and Michael have, Bergie should get the free pass from that one.
Yeah, and this in turn will rebunch them up again, and we'll go at it here. North Wilkesboro is Speedway. For now, just joining us here for tonight. Round out the finale here at North Wilkesboro, and still a lot of laps racing. A lot of laps of racing left to go.
Well, we've already seen contact between John Cannizzaro and Eric Heater multiple times tonight, and now we've seen contact between Bergie and Nick Miller. So we'll have to see if at any point in the race tonight, if Bergie decides to pay Nick Miller back. But of course, them being lapped down and a bit slower, maybe more of a challenge for him to do that than if John were to go after Eric.
Short track mentalities and short track tempers. Short track, short tempers, as DW would like to say. And Bergie's going to start on the inside yet again and just start toward the front. So who knows if they might be in contact.
Yeah, and Bergie may let Nick by him and then just punt him into turn 1, almost like Matt Kenseth and Joey Logano in that infamous incident at Martinsville. So we shall see how this plays out on restart number 4 of the race. Hunter Johnson leads us back to green.
Green flag, green flag.
Oh, looks like Cannizzaro did not get a good restart, and Bergie's going to fling himself into 1. Keep what is second position as of right now, but the fight for position is on toward the back, maybe. I guess not. A lot of people are sort of single file. Never mind that. Sertaj Mahon trying to shove himself to the low side of the 86 of Garrett Hess. We're not going to go anywhere with that, but where did Bergie go?
He disappeared.
Whoa!
Sertaj out of turn 2 in the grass. 3 wide into turn 3. Casey needs to be a bit careful here. but he might pass both of them. So I already got by Garrett, might get by Sartaj out of 4, but yeah, Bergie just disappeared. I'm not sure where he went.
Yeah, I want to get a replay of where Bergie was.
I don't know if he got disqualified or something. I don't know, but he just dropped right off. He's shown 2 laps down.
Yeah, he just DC'd right there, so.
I don't know if he alt F4'd or if he got disqualified. I'm not really sure. Because he's probably picked up a good amount of incident points already, but
He only had 9.
regardless, he should be probably going to be done. So the one car goes hard into the outside wall. That is Sartaj Man, and that will be another caution.
That was a hard lick. Not really a hard lick, but he flung up into the outside wall at a sudden angle, and looks like Sartaj.
Oh, he overcorrected. Oh, he almost had it and overcorrected at the last second. He drifted almost all the way through that turn.
Yeah, reminiscent of Jamie McMurray, but
yeah.
Oh man, Garrett got so lucky.
Close call for that 86. Might need a new pair of underwear after that one, but
that's right.
That should give Harry the free pass. Looks like Miller the only taker on pit road in the top 5. So that'll bump up Schmidt and Drake, Hess, and all of them up a spot. I think we're good on fuel to the end. You may have to double check, but I don't think fuel strategy should be a thing at this point of the race. Even for the guys that haven't pitted in a little bit.
Harry Grendel, he too, 3 laps down, so I guess Grendel's out of it. Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if Sartaj ends up losing some laps making repairs, because he hit that outside wall pretty hard, but looks like we're down to 12 cars on the track, as Bergie is out. Looks like Grendel may be as well, and of course Bianchini and Allison have been out for a while, and Alton Bachman, of course, did not take the green flag. So just over half of the people that joined the session still out on the track. And I think at this point of the race, I believe Hunter has now led more laps than Eric Heater has, in which case that would give him the additional 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. And all that does is make more work for Casey Drake.
Right.
Because now that he's been out for this long stint, Heater had 32 when Hunter took the lead. And I think at this point, Hunter has eclipsed 32 laps led. I think Zoltan around 25.
Having a bit of a monitor issue, trying to get that situated, but in the meantime, hopefully the broadcast doesn't out and screw up, but yeah, well situated here as right 90 out of 150. Now my left monitor does go out, so not sure what's going on. Oh, we're coming to green. Dewey, go ahead and lead us as I fix this problem.
All right, well, Ezekiel's down to monitor, so that's a thing. So I guess I'll take over lead commentating here for a bit. But Hunter Johnson, John Cannizzaro, Eric Heater, Zoltan Herzeg, William Schmidt, your top 5, and championship contender Casey Drake right behind them in 6th. Hunter Johnson steps on it. We are back underway here at North Wilkesboro.
Head themselves into turn number 1. Sorry for the lag spikes and such like that, but in the meantime, we all situate ourselves side by side for this spot as well. Oh, and yeah, now we have like all sorts of issues and such like that. Hold on, let me get myself situated. There we go, we're back live. But
that's apologize for the technical difficulties here, but we should be all right now as Hunter still maintains the lead. Cannizzaro doing a good job of holding Eric Heater behind him. Miller still back in 8th, hasn't really gained much ground since he hit. Of course, he was the only car that came down pit road on that caution. And Zoltan looks like he's picked up, actually he hasn't picked up a spot, but he's there at the back bumper of Heater. This could be a battle for 3rd here shortly.
Oh, Cannizzaro causing a bit of a check up. Yeah, oh man, even more contact. Heater gets the bump. from Zoltan, but he will fly away for right now. Oh boy. How about William Schmidt? He's been sitting upside the top 5 for most of this race, running a quiet race after the top 3 pull away, but I mean, now it looks like a top 4 pull away as Zoltan gets into the mix as well. But
Peter trying to get underneath Cannizzaro, can't quite make it work. Of course, we've already seen those two have a bit of a history earlier in this race, so it wouldn't surprise me if we have more contact. And speaking of, Eric Heater almost goes around out of turn 2, and will take that momentum and use it to try and pass that 74.
Now back to the low side. They go side by side for this spot. Hertzog going to be the one to be boxed in. Can't really take it 3 wide, or else maybe you might want to take it 3 wide. I'm not really sure, but they work themselves right up off the corner. Heater into second place, and Cannizzaro and Zoltan going to duke it out.
Yeah, Schmidt's not that far behind. This could be a 4-car battle here shortly. That 79 has caught Cannizzaro and Zoltan. And speaking of Zoltan, there he goes to 3rd place. So Cannizzaro not going the right way here off of this restart. And he may lose another spot here shortly.
All this is doing is giving a headache to that number 87 to Casey Drake.
More laps left for Hunter as well.
That's right.
If Hunter stays out there long enough, he'll be out there long enough to clinch the most laps led. Of course, after some point, he'll be out there for so long that nobody else can lead enough to get by him. So it's important for him to stay out there as long as possible. And with these two being side by side, makes that job much easier.
About to go side by side for the 2nd spot too. Zoltan is all over Heater. We got a pass here for 5th place as Miller to the low side. Oh my goodness, shoving. Well, I wouldn't say shoving. He scared the 79 up the track. They go side by side for this position as well. Oh! Heater goes around!
Whoa, he saved it again!
Oh gosh, what a save. I'm shocked. Cannot believe these cars could just straighten out like that.
Those tires that Miller took on that pit stop, again, he was the only one that pit on that last caution. They're finally starting to come in now. So he was back in 8th for the first couple laps, but now he's starting to make his way through the field. Just got by William Schmidt for 5th place. And you see right there the last laps pit, most of the top 5 and top 10 around 31, 32. Nick Miller at 15. So his tire is much fresher than everybody else in the top 10, along with Jake Corway in the 99.
Seems as though tires play more of an effect on short tracks. We saw something similar like on the 1.5 mile tracks, and a bit of tire strategy playing effect to Charlie Byers' win. But now it seems as though it's the opposite. Tires mean a lot rather than tires meaning nothing. So for the 9 of Nick Miller, he's taking advantage of his new fresh rubber and putting it to the point. Now he goes to the underside of the 09 of Heater, trying to take that 3rd spot, but Heater gets a good run right up off the corner, but he slips in one, and here comes Miller again.
To me, what will make this interesting is if we get a caution with around 20 or 30 to go, if there'll be anybody that's towards the back that might try to stay out, or if we just see the entire field pit for 4 tires at the same time. Because, of course, now we see Miller has about 20 lap fresher tires than everyone else in the top 10. So if we have a caution with around 20 or 30 to go, as Sartaz looks like he's waiting for a gap in the field to open up. He's 11 down now. Miller may be on the same tire strategy as everyone else if that were to happen. And if he's up there in 3rd on that caution, we'll have to see how that would play out.
Oh, I hear a wreck.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Survey says William Schmidt for turn 1.
Oh, that engine's destroyed. Oh, he's done for. That
yeah,
sucks.
he probably has a lot of required, so looks like that at turn 4 just
got loose.
Ooh, big hit to the inside wall.
It was going so well for him, but you saw him get a bit sideways right up off the corner, and unfortunately for that number 79 of William Schmidt, couldn't catch the car, and right there, well, yeah, right there he gets a bit sideways, and too much correction into the wheel. Shoves him to the outside wall, and it bounced him back, too.
Yeah, if you hit the wall in these cars, you're probably going to go around.
Yeah, it's because the fender, there's not really a fender on this car. The tires stick out more farther than the actual body itself, hence why you see some weird hits off the outside wall and such. This runs the older damage model as well, so add on more weird physics and stuff like that. As that was a fairly short run, I'm surprised to see nobody take on 2. Oh my goodness, Sir Taj! Oh my gosh! He did not
What?
He did not just do that. He was trying to get his lap back, but he shoved it into the corner and won. And he just wrecked it. Oh no.
Well, Sartaj is already like 12 laps down. He wasn't gonna get back to the lead. Oh, that's the same thing he did when he brought the caution out that put him 11 laps down.
Oh.
He did the same thing again. Oh no, Sartaj, but well, that's what I was talking about though. I just mentioned right before, if a caution were to come out with 20 or 30 to go, it would probably put everybody on the same fuel strategy. So now with Nick Miller on the same tires as Hunter and Eric Heater, will he be able to stay up there, or is he or did he look better just because he was on fresher tires? We'll see.
Right.
But he made up a lot of ground, though.
Yeah.
Played from 8th to 3rd.
Yeah, now he's going to be on equal footing everybody else, so Miller was running outside the top 5 when he was running on equal footing as everybody else, so I'm not sure how Miller's going to run up there, but maybe he's got the hang of the track, and maybe he knows how this thing's function out for him, so with 50 laps to go now, your championship contenders run 6th and a 1st. For Hunter Johnson, this is great news for him. He's probably taken over the most laps led. Yep, no surprise.
Hasn't clinched the most yet, though. Still 22 ahead of Heater with 36 to go, so he hasn't quite gotten most laps led, but it's looking increasingly likely that he will. But I'm really impressed with Hunter, though. Of course, we interviewed him last week after he won Darlington. He didn't even own this track when we were interviewing him. So the fact that he's bought the track, put this much practice in, and led this many laps in the race goes to show you how good of a racer Hunter is, that he can learn a track this quickly and already be dominant at it.
Whoa, man, Heater just cut off the 9 of Miller. He said, no, to keep track position. Hertzeg hit the wall in the middle of the straightaway. And, man, that was nearly disastrous as they're side by side for a 5th.
Trying to. Canizaro's gone a bit in the wrong direction here, but still some time for him to try and rebound. Heater's trying to hang with Hunter here, and the good news for Eric is nobody's running side by side with him at the moment, and the cars behind him are, so we'll have to see if Eric's got anything left for Hunter in this race, or if Hunter's just going to run away with it and run away with this championship as well.
Oh, Hunter sideways!
They both got sideways, but Hunter more so than Eric. Heater got the wall there out of 2, and I think their gap stayed about the same because of that, but Zoltan able to capitalize. He just gained ground on both of them.
Yeah, this might be a dogfight for the lead, and Hunter has to be safe around a hungry Eric Heater as Hunter cocks it dead sideways yet again on entrance. Again, it seems as though the 12 is too aggressive on the entrance of the corner. Hertzeg gonna shove it into the corner, not gonna go anywhere with it. This track is similar like Five Flags. You gotta get to the bottom ASAP, but you don't want to shove it into the corner too far, or else you're gonna catch yourself sideways. And you see right there, Hunter a bit more sideways, and in turn, it's allowing Heater to pull up, but Hertzeg is even faster than both of these drivers, so Hertzeg might be the one. Oh my gosh, Hunter's dead sideways again.
Yeah, the way you have to run this is really interesting because of, you mentioned before, looks like the middle groove or so might be the best way around this racetrack, but you also don't want to run too high up where you give someone an opportunity like that to try and get a nose underneath you, maybe bump you out of the way. So you have to figure out where exactly you want to run.
Man, caution
and
is
for
out.
Hunter
Caution
Johnson,
is
they
out.
left a bit too much room there for Heater, and Nick Miller has gone around on the front stretch.
Caution comes out for the, I think, 7th time here for tonight. So a clean race as of right now. But now since we're halfway, everybody just You know.
So much for equal footing, I guess, unfortunately for Nick.
Yeah, that's right. New tires just played advantage to him, but unfortunately for the 9, too much right up off the corner. Same thing with what we saw Bergie did, a nice avoidance there by the 74 of John Cannizzaro.
Unfortunately, Nick got the inside wall, though.
Now, do you pit or stay out? I think you
We'll
pit.
see. Honestly, I don't know.
Heater is gonna lead the charge, and no!
Oh!
I'm surprised. I'm so surprised. If you stay yourself out, you're on older tires, but if you come in, you're gonna be on newer tires. So many, not a lot of cars left, and I'm very surprised not to see a lot of drivers on pit road. There's only 9 cars in this lead lap. And
I thought everybody was just, like, what I figured was going to happen is if Hunter stayed out, everybody was going to come in.
yeah, that's what I thought as well, but
I thought everyone was going to do the opposite of the lead, and then it looked like that was going to happen, but then Zoltan and Casey just veered to the right along with Garrett Hess, and so 5th on back just came down pit road, but 1st through 4th now will be on older tires with just 27 laps to go, and with Heater probably going to restart 5th, that should hand the most laps led to Hunter Johnson and an additional 5 bonus points. I believe he only needs like 10 or so more laps led to wrap it up. And of course, it can't be somebody new. The only way that he wouldn't get the most laps led is if Heater takes the lead and literally wins the race and leads the rest of the laps. So
that's right.
Becoming increasingly more likely that Hunter Johnson will get at least 10 bonus points tonight. And again, that means Casey needs to put, I believe, maybe 2 or 3 spots in between himself and Hunter rather than just 1. But of course, remember earlier, Casey did stay out on a caution and got himself 5 bonus points as well. So those 5 for Hunter are pretty much a wash. So rather than having 10 extra, he basically has 5.
Herzeg's going to put as much pressure on Hunter. If Herzeg and Hunter go side by side, it'll open up the door for Casey Drake as long as Hess doesn't play a factor into this as well. So I know Zoltan's faster than Hunter. So Hunter has a bit of pressure to deal with, but you want to get yourself back in line ASAP. So for Zoltan Herzeg in that number 96, oh boy, I'm not sure how, I mean for Hunter Johnson in that number 12, I'm not sure on if he wants to race for the lead or race for the championship. I think you have to think of the bigger picture and think about Casey Drake and such. It'd be all right to...
Well, Casey's problem himself, though, is that now he's going to worry about Heater and Cannizzaro, who actually pit for 4 fresh tires. They'll be restarting right behind him. So, of course, he wants to go after Hunter, but he can't let his guard down against a much faster Eric Heater either.
That's right. A lot of strategy here with 25 laps to go this time by. Now 24. Pace car scoots itself on pit road. Green flag is out, and a big start.
He tried, but here comes Heater already for 4th on Garrett Hess. That took no time at all for him. I think Garrett may have just gotten out of the way. Cannizzaro by him as well. So put that 74 back up to 5th. But Casey now is going to have to try and fend off that 09. And he's coming quick here with just 23 to go at the line. There goes Heater for 3rd. A couple more points that Casey just lost.
I mean, Heater and Casey are fairly close. I know they run LRL together, so maybe Heater is betting for... maybe Casey wants Heater to pass Hunter Johnson and make it a 5-4. Oh my goodness, speaking of 5 for the lead. Yeah, they're sideways.
What a close call there between Heater and Zoltan. And this is what Hunter wants to see. Now that these two are side by side, can Hunter start to pull away? Or will Heater get by Zoltan fast enough? We can try to make a charge right at that 12. And now pass for 4th. Cannizzaro's gotten by Casey Drake. So Casey now back to 5th. So a few more points that Casey has lost. And now Heater can set his sights on Hunter, and this should be interesting really quick here. He's there.
He's definitely there. I'm surprised Casey didn't pit, because the only way you'll be faster than that 12 is taking on tires. That's why I'm very surprised. Oh, bump and run! Hunter up the track, Heater to the low side, and they're side by side in the 1.
They're going to be there again.
Oh, they contact!
Hunter goes up the track. Eric Heater takes the lead with 20 laps to go. Will Hunter give him the bumper back? It would not surprise me if he does. Here he comes. He tries, but not close enough. And now Zoltan might give him the bumper here out of 4.
Hunter's losing so much ground now as Heater with fresher tires retakes the top spot. And now Hunter, all he has to do is just watch and see as the 09 is just getting smaller and smaller in the windshield. Zone's trying to shove the low side. He gets spun! He gets spun!
The outside wall!
And there's Casey!
Out, and that is huge! And now Cannizzaro goes around in the entrance of pit road.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness.
That did not just happen.
Everything.
That
Because
changes
now
everything.
you know Hunter Johnson's probably going to pit since he just probably got his tires flat spotted. So now the question is, will Casey Drake also pit, or will he stay out and hope he's out there long enough to keep as many spots with himself and Hunter Johnson? We'll have to get a look. And Heater's going to pit again.
Oh,
and
Casey
stays
did.
Out.
Casey, oh my gosh. Yeah, Miller's the only person to
did?
stay. I'm shocked. I'm shocked of these strategies. Everybody else came in, though. I mean, except for Scott Yost and John Cannizzaro, who spun it for some reason.
I'm just shocked that Eric Heater pit.
I'm shocked, too. Hunter's going to take 2 no matter what. And Casey,
in all likelihood. Casey's probably going to take 4. So there's an actual chance here that Hunter may still beat Casey off of pit road. We'll have to see.
I think Hunter has to take 2 to stay in front of Casey. But he did spin.
I don't know.
He's taking 4. He's taking 4 because he spun out. But here comes Casey.
So how many spots will be in between them? Zoltan beats Casey off pit road. I don't know if that's going to be an EOL for that 96 or not, though, because I think he might have run over Hunter by accident there. We'll have to get a look at that. I would imagine that could be a potential EOL penalty for Zoltan, so we'll have to see whether that is or not. But I think he just flat out turned him, honestly.
I mean, he definitely stuck the nose into the corner. It's not like he wasn't there. But we'll get another replay of it right here. It definitely wasn't intentional. But Hunter was just wide up the track.
Oh, that's why Cannizzaro spun. He got hit through the grass right there and couldn't save it. So that explains why the 74 went around where it did. But Hunter actually backed into the outside wall there. You saw the rear end crumple in a little bit. Perhaps he may have taken that optional or not. I don't know if he did. But it looks like on the restart...
Yeah, he just came off the pit road.
Yeah, so he came down again. But the good thing for Hunter is he can't finish really any worse than 9th because Sartaj Man's sitting there 9 laps down in 10th. So it looks like Casey will restart in 6th and Hunter in 9th. And I don't know if 3 positions is enough for Casey to overtake or take the points lead from Hunter.
That's right.
You have to remember, Hunter's got those 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. But of course, we still have 14, probably 13 for the green to see how this goes. And now you've got Nick Miller up there in the lead for the first time tonight, and Scott Yost up there in second. As Hunter barely beats pace car off pit road. So Hunter trying to pit as many times as he can.
The way the point system worked back in the day was very different. You get 180. We're going to go back to the restart, but
I think you get 175 for winning, and then you get, or it's either 175 or 180 for winning.
Yeah, and they go off of different increments as well. So
yeah, it depends on how
you finishing first and second isn't the same as you finishing 5th and 6th. Green flag is out.
Yeah, this will be interesting. This may require a post-race determination of the champion during the commercial break, depending on where these guys finish out. Side by side for third, that is Heater and Cannizzaro. For position, looks like Zoltan will also get by the 74. Scott Yost also just stayed out in the 85. He's up on the high side, staying out of harm's way. And now Heater can try and set his sights on Nick Miller for the race lead once again. And I would imagine that Heater might get it. Bit of contact there out of 2. Miller's going to try and hold tight, but I don't know how long he can.
Oh, Heater has fresher tires, and he can't hold off.
Look at Hunter Johnson. Look at the gap between him and Jake Corway. That is a 4-second gap between Hunter Johnson and Jake Corway. I think that damage he just got might be really affecting his car in a negative way. And now Casey Drake up to 5th after getting by Scott Yost. So now that's 4 spots between Casey and Hunter. This may honestly be Casey's championship at this point if these results hold up where they are.
You gotta keep yourself intact, though. You can't make any contact, and just keep yourself clean. Casey has to race smart.
Definitely, I wonder if Hunter may have gotten some engine damage from that. As we have contact, speaking of, Zoltan and Heater. That's for actually.
Oh!
These two may not be too happy with each other, as Zoltan takes the lead with 9 laps to go.
Oh, Heater stayed with him, though. Wow, I'm very surprised about that.
Whoa, and Zoltan washes up a little bit. Zoltan and Heater both looking for their first Summer Series victory in the final race of it. Just 8 laps to go to determine who will win the race and this championship. Casey up to 4th as well. So now 5 spots between himself and Hunter Johnson. If these results hold up where they are, I think Casey may end up being your champion here.
That's right. 7 laps to go this time by. If we get a caution with 5 to go or less, this race is over. That's right. No green, white checkers, but you don't want to be the cause of the caution. If Casey was the cause of the caution, that means he's going to be trapped with Hunter Johnson, and that in turn will hand the Hunter the championship. So Casey has to race smart.
Careful here.
He has a manageable gap between him and the 74.
I think Casey's got... He can't be too aggressive. I know he wants to get as many positions as he can, with only, of course, now 7 to go, or actually 6. He wants to be a little aggressive and get as many spots to himself and Hunter as possible. And actually, Hunter just got by Scott Yost for 8th. So he does need to get those positions, but he also can't be too aggressive or ends up spinning himself out by accident. So Casey's tiptoeing a very fine line here, as between not being aggressive enough and being too aggressive.
Now Hunter he's there. He might close up the gap between him and Corway. That might, I mean, who knows if Corway loses a spot.
Over yet.
Yeah, it ain't over.
4 to go.
4 to go this time by, and Hess is loose right up off the corner.
Casey needs Hunter to stay back there, but
Casey moves up a spot to Miller.
This battle for 3rd is becoming increasingly important because if Hunter gets by Corway, Casey needs to match that with a pass of his own, and he's trying out of turn 4. Contact, and Casey will take 3rd. That might be the most important pass that Casey Drake's made all season, because now the gap between himself and Hunter back up to 5 spots, as Hunter can't quite close in on Jake Corway yet. But Miller's going to send it here. Only 2 to go with Zoltan Herzeg and Eric Heater. That gap's about 1.2 seconds.
But Casey can't pass any more cars. The gap between himself and Heater is so far. But Hunter is still within grasping distance of that 99. So who knows? White flag this time by for Zoltan Herzeg in his first ever iSCAR Summer Series win. So it's now or never for Casey and Hunter. But I think time's running out for Hunter, as now the gap is very, very long between himself. But who knows? There might be a white flag wreck because they're racing really hard. But into 3 and 4.
Zoltan Herzeg got a turn 4. Wins his first iSCAR race here at North Wilkesboro. What a great job for him. Finally breaks through the win. Corway went around. That's a spot for Hunter. Casey Drake will finish himself in 3rd. Where did Hunter looks like 7th. That's a 4-spot difference between Casey and Hunter. And again, Hunter got those 5 bonus points. So we'll have to see where this all shakes down. But regardless of the championship, Zoltan Herzeg is a first-time iSCAR winner, and he'll burn it down here at North Wilkesboro. Congratulations to him.
Oh, what a great race by that number 96.
Casey's burning it out. I think he's the champion, honestly.
I mean, I don't know. He might be not sure as they butt heads.
I think he's got it.
I think so too, but we're going to go ahead and calculate the points right now here live. I'm not sure, though, but we'll have to see. It should be Casey, though, but Hunter, he led most laps, and he got...
Right.
He led most laps.
With the 5 bonus points, because, again, Casey led a lap as well, that means Hunter has had a 9-point gap on Casey. So with that gap being 4 spots, were those 4 spots enough of a gap to make up 9 points? And that is what we have to determine now to figure out who will be...
What is this?
...the inaugural champion. Alright, well, that's a great way to celebrate if he is, in fact, the champion, to flip yourself over on the start-finish line, so...
Yeah, well, again, we'll calculate points live here. We'll pull up Dan Lisa here in a moment, but yeah, again, Casey Drake finishing in 3rd, and Hunter Johnson finishing 7th. Who knows? But here we go. We're going to go ahead and calculate the points right now and get this all in and such, but congratulations to Zoltan Herzeg for his first ever iSCAR victory.
I'll say this, though. No matter who walks out of here with the championship, Casey and Hunter both had really, really great seasons. And whoever's the loser of the championship, nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever, because both of them have done a really good job so far this season. So, of course, we want to crown a champion, but they both equally deserve it, I think. And with the results in, Casey Drake is your Legend Series champion by 10 points over Hunter Johnson.
Wow. 10 points. It might not be a lot, but based on how this point system works.
So that means Casey made up, I think, 21 or I think 19 or 20 points with those 4 spots. I think there may have been 5 per I want to say 5 per position. Yeah, Hunter got 146 and Casey got 165. So yeah, he made up 19 points on Hunter with those 4 spots.
Wow.
So
that
Casey
made
Drake,
the difference.
Yeah, Casey passing Nick for third made the difference, because I think he still would have been 5 up, but I'm sure he still needed it. But either way, Casey Drake, a first-time iSCAR champion, and that is pretty cool.
We're going to scoot ourselves to the side and drag in the top 3 for interviews. We'll be right back right after this, as well as your champion.
We are back at North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, where the field is rolling out for the start of today's 400-lap race on this 0.625-mile racetrack. And just as the field comes all around turn number 4, the sunshine peeks through, helping warm things here. Bill Elliott leads him down. Benny Parsons on the outside. The green flag flies, and the first Union 400 Winston Cup race from North Wilkesboro is underway. Everybody nice through turns number 1 and 2 as Bill Elliott has the lead and Dale Earnhardt has jumped into second position, followed by Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison. Well, here we go. It's just about to go away. They bump coming out of turn 4. Earnhardt gets the lead. We had just heard from our spotters that Neil Lyons. Dale Earnhardt is on his last lap. This will be his 24th career win. Dale Earnhardt wins the first Union 400 at North Wilkesboro.
We welcome you here back live for tonight's iSCAR post-race show presented by Yost Auto Sales. Congratulations to the 87 of Casey Drake. For winning the title here for tonight. Man, it was super eventful.
Yeah, that was one of the most intense championship battles I think we've ever seen in iSCAR. Of course, in the other series, it's pretty much just 1 point per position, but here the increments are so much different, and it leads to a bit more strategy than you may otherwise have seen. And Casey Drake played that strategy perfectly, and for that, ends up being your champion. Full results, though, after 150 laps here at North Wilkesboro. Zoltan Hertzeg picks up his first ever iSCAR victory here tonight. Eric Heater comes up just short in second. Your champion Casey Drake rounds out the podium. Nick Miller in fourth. Garrett Hess with a solid top 5 here tonight. John Cannizzaro in 6th. Runner-up Hunter Johnson in 7th. Series sponsor Scott Yost in 8th. Special thanks to him for sponsoring this series. Jake Corway gets his 3rd straight top 10 to round out the Legend Series, and Sartaj Maan rounds out your top 10.
Rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen right here. Charlie Byer, William Schmidt, Harry Grindle, Joe Berge, Hugo Bianchini, Noah Allison, Dylan Alt, and David Bachman did not start the race, but go ahead and go into interviews here for tonight. And actually, nobody's in the waiting room right now.
You should change that.
I should go ahead and just drag people.
Well, Zoltan doesn't do interviews, unfortunately, so I won't be able to interview our winner tonight. So we'll start off with Eric Heater, who finished in 2nd tonight. Eric, got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, you had some really great speed at the end of that race. Of course, we saw you come down pit road when Hunter stayed out. What was going through your mind when Hunter stayed out, and then all the cars behind you started darting back out on the track?
I just wanted to be on the offensive. I even if there were a lot of cars ahead of me, I knew the fresh tires mattered a lot. And I did have pace, but I knew Zoltan was a little bit quicker than me, and I knew Hunter could hold me off. So I just wanted to be a little bit faster than them with the tires and hopefully be able to get by them through there. But fortunately, we got the yellow when we had the lead and a pretty good gap. And then on that restart there, I just completely overheated my tires, and I was just sliding basically until the end. My right front there at the end was almost 300 degrees, so you can probably tell how much I was overdriving it.
Yeah, 300 degrees is pretty hot, and I'd rather not touch that tire or any other tire on your car, but you won a good amount of laps early on in the race. I think you led the first 30 or so. I mean, how was your car overall tonight as the race progressed?
Well, it was my first time in this car, so it was definitely something different. These cars definitely slide a lot, not much grip, but they're a lot of fun to drive. And also this track is pretty nice too. I just got that as well. So first time on the track, some good race pace. Hopefully I can work on it, and any other races I do, this will be a good experience for me.
Yeah, quite a few people have just ran North Wilkesboro for the first time, including both of our title contenders. And for you, ended up 2nd place as a result tonight. But before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight's race?
Not really. Just shout out to Talon for winning the championship.
All right, Eric Heater, your runner-up here tonight at North Wilkesboro. Can't wait to see you in the Winter Series, bud.
Yep. See you then.
Oh, cut him off a bit. Whoops.
Go ahead and slide in the number 87 of Casey Drake. The first ever time he's going to come out as an iSCAR champion here at North Wilkesboro. Casey Drake, my goodness, man, that was wild. And you saw Hunter Johnson spinning into 3. As soon as you saw that, everything started to change. What was going through your mind?
Well, I probably, at the beginning of the race, spot the track. Me and Hunter actually bought the track today, so I guess we didn't really have much practice on it. So I thought it was going to be maybe close, but then Hunter obviously led, like, I don't even know how many laps, like probably 100 something. So he mostly dominated. I was like top probably 7 cars. So I was like, maybe if I get a chance, maybe like a late race restart, I can maybe get on by and not expect him to get wrecked like with like 15 to go. And I thought when that happened, he'd probably just get it back going and pit for tires maybe and make up the spots. But surprisingly, like he just didn't get up to the field when the green went out. So just kind of got lucky there. So yeah.
That's right, and Casey, track position, just playing key out there, and a lot of people darted left and right during that late race pit stop, and things started being interesting there as well. Casey, what was going through your mind? You stayed out with Hunter rather than taking tires.
Oh, which pit stop? The last one?
Not the last one, the one in which everybody sort of split the difference.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought Hunter was gonna pit, and I could maybe try to get some laps led and maybe just get lucky with cautions since there's no green checkers and whatnot. But yeah, just I guess that didn't really happen. So I mean, in the long run, I guess it I mean, it didn't really matter, I guess. But I mean,
Yeah, that's right. It didn't matter in the long run as you finished right in front of that number 12 after that late race incident. Congratulations, man, for a well-deserved title here for tonight. 87 to Casey Drake rounds himself out third after starting 11th. Casey, you're picking up a bit of cash here after tonight, of course. Championship season into the books. What are you looking forward to coming up winter?
I don't know. Just next season, I guess, with the Cup Series and Xfinity Series, I guess, and the trucks. Maybe some iSCAR 2 action. Depends on what series, I guess. But yeah.
All right, bud. 10-4. Congratulations, Casey Drake in the 87 round. Up top of the scoring pylon with a leaderboard. We will see you coming up to your next race, bud.
Yep. Thank you.
Casey Drake in the number 87. Congratulations to him. And with that rounded out, thank you all so much for a really fun season of broadcast here for tonight. Do you have any last second comments you want?
Well, I've got to say thank you first off to Rudy and everybody else at MSTV for allowing us to come on here and broadcast these races to a wider audience than what we were used to on KMN. Hopefully that can be an agreement that can be renewed here for the upcoming winter series, because I had a ton of fun up here. I've learned a lot about commentating, and I think that honestly I've had so much fun commentating, and I've had more fun as the season's gone on. And it's been probably one of the coolest things that I've done when it comes to sim racing, and I can't wait to see what the Winter Series brings us in that. But for overall for the Summer Series, I think it was a huge success, and I think it's something we should definitely revisit again in the summertime next year.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And with that into the books, my name's Zico Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Thank you once again for tuning in for tonight and for all of the races between Summer Series Part 1 and Part 2. We can't wait to see you back for the Winter Series in October. Bye.